Formula One has roared back to life with all eyes focused on Albert Park for what promises to be an explosive season opener in Melbourne. After dominant preseason testing, McLaren has emerged as the surprise favorites, leaving rivals scrambling and fans wondering, has the balance of power shifted completely in F1? The paddock is buzzing with speculation as teams prepare for the first true test of 2025. The stunning revelation came straight from three-time world champion Max Verstappen himself, who shocked journalists when he admitted Red Bull might be playing catch-up. Looking at the lap times, McLaren is clearly the favorite, Verstappen conceded in his pre-race press conference. We have some ideas for improvement, but right now, one team is clearly ahead. This unprecedented admission from the usually confident Dutchman has sent ripples through the paddock and raised serious questions about Red Bull's preparation. Behind closed doors at McLaren, however, a potential storm is brewing. Oscar Piastri returns to his home race with renewed confidence and championship ambitions, publicly declaring his belief that he can become world champion this year. Everyone starts on 0 points again, the Australian stated firmly. I helped Lando occasionally last year, but this season is different. I absolutely believe I can fight for the title. This bold claim sets the stage for what could become a tense teammate rivalry between Piastri and Norris, especially if McLaren's pace advantage proves genuine. Meanwhile, all eyes will be on Lewis Hamilton as he makes his historic Ferrari debut after 12 seasons at Mercedes. The 7-time champion faces the enormous challenge of adapting to an entirely new environment, but early signs suggest the transition might be smoother than expected. Reports from the Ferrari garage indicate the SF25 has responded well to Hamilton's driving style, though tire degradation concerns from Bahrain testing haven't completely disappeared. Ferrari team principal Frederic Vasseur has been careful to manage expectations ahead of the season opener. Melbourne is a unique circuit with very specific characteristics, Vasseur explained. The temperature differences between races will be dramatic. Hot in Australia, much cooler in China and Japan. We can't judge the championship picture from just one weekend. This measured approach hints at Ferrari's cautious optimism despite their star signing. Adding another fascinating dimension to Sunday's race is the weather forecast, which shows a high probability of rain, potentially as much as 90%. This could completely scramble the competitive order and play into the hands of wet weather specialists like Hamilton and Verstappen. For rookies and less experienced drivers, however, it presents a daunting challenge on an already demanding street circuit. The anticipated wet conditions might also provide Red Bull with an opportunity to minimize the damage from their apparent performance deficit. Verstappen's remarkable ability to extract performance in changeable conditions could prove crucial if the team finds themselves genuinely behind on raw pace. His teammate Lawson, however, faces a baptism of fire in what would be extremely difficult circumstances for a driver with limited F1 experience. Beyond the headline battles, the midfield contest promises to be equally fierce. Williams arrives with arguably the strongest driver lineup among the midfield teams, but continues to deal with the aftermath of resource allocation issues from 2024. Team representatives have acknowledged they'll rely heavily on driver feedback to maximize their package, particularly in these early races. The 2025 season launch represents a pivotal moment for Formula One, with potentially the most significant competitive shift in years. McLaren's apparent advantage challenges the established order, while Hamilton's Ferrari move creates a fascinating subplot that will develop throughout the season. The first qualifying session on Saturday will finally reveal the true competitive picture after months of speculation.
Excuse us, thank you. Oh, sorry.
Lewis Hamilton has left the entire paddock speechless with his mindset heading into his Ferrari debut, confirming exactly what rival drivers feared most. The 7-time world champion feels absolutely zero outside pressure. Despite concerns about adapting to a new team at 40 years old, Hamilton has arrived in Melbourne with a dangerous combination of confidence, experience, and pure excitement that has sent shockwaves through the grid. The question now isn't whether Hamilton can handle the pressure of Ferrari, it's whether any anyone can handle the pressure of racing against a liberated Lewis Hamilton. After 12 seasons with Mercedes that ended with 3 frustrating years in an underperforming car, many wondered if Hamilton's move to Ferrari would bring overwhelming pressure and expectations. But the Briton has flipped the script entirely, declaring that external pressure is non-existent for him ahead of this weekend's Australian Grand Prix. This mental fortitude is precisely what competitors hoped they wouldn't see from a rejuvenated Hamilton in the famous red car. I'm under no assumptions that it will be easy. It is not.
It's been a long winter, but it's also been very short. But I'm really grateful we had good testing last week. I can't believe the race is already next week, so I already start to make my venture to Australia on Friday. So that's when it really starts to be, it will start to sink in a little bit as the weekend kind of arrives this weekend before. And no, but I feel excited. I feel we're as best prepared as we could be given the short space of time that I've had. There's still things to learn, but I'm just excited to get going. I love racing.
Hamilton acknowledged when speaking to media in Melbourne, but I don't feel the pressure. The outside pressure, it's non-existent for me. The pressure is from within and what I want to achieve. These aren't the words of a driver feeling the weight of Ferrari's championship drought. They're the words of a champion who knows exactly what he's capable of delivering. What's particularly alarming for rivals is Hamilton's clear sense of purpose and belonging at Ferrari. I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. I don't feel I have to do anything, he stated with the confidence that comes from having nothing left to prove in the sport. I've been in F1 a long time and done it time and time again. I know what it takes to do a good job, and that's what I want to deliver for myself and for my family, for this team that I really believe deserves success. Ferrari hasn't won a driver's championship since 2007 or a constructor's title since 2008, but they finished second in the constructor's standings last season and ended 2024 with one of the most competitive cars on the grid. With Hamilton now at the wheel alongside Charles Leclerc, the Scuderia has assembled a driver lineup that rivals will be losing sleep over. The transformation in Hamilton is palpable. After struggling with a difficult Mercedes for 3 seasons, he arrived in Melbourne visibly energized and motivated. "I'm itching to get going," he said, his enthusiasm unmistakable. "This is the most exciting period of my life, and so I'm really just enjoying it. I'm so excited to get in the car tomorrow." Perhaps most intimidating for competitors is Hamilton's emotional and psychological evolution since his F1 debut at this very track in 2007. The contrast between the 22-year-old rookie who drowned many times and today's self-assured champion couldn't be more stark. Now, obviously, I'm very comfortable in my skin. I know who I am, I know where I'm going, I know what energy and time and effort I need to put in to get there, Hamilton reflected. This level of self-knowledge combined with his unparalleled experience makes Hamilton more dangerous than ever. He's not only technically brilliant, but mentally bulletproof. The exact combination that drivers like Verstappen and Norris desperately hoped they wouldn't have to contend with in a competitive Ferrari.
I can't believe the race is already next week, so I already start to make my venture to Australia on Friday. So that's when it really starts to be, it will start to sink in a little bit as the weekend kind of arrives. I feel we're as best prepared as we could be given the short space of time that I've had. There's still things to learn, but I'm just excited to get going. I love racing, and so all the other stuff is stuff I love less. Racing is what I love. Being at Melbourne, it's going to be very reminiscent of my first Grand Prix there.
The moment that shook Formula One to its core is finally upon us this weekend, as Lewis Hamilton prepares to make his competitive Ferrari debut at the Australian Grand Prix. After more than a year of anticipation following the bombshell announcement in February 2024, the 7-time world champion will finally sport the iconic red overalls in front of a packed Melbourne crowd. With testing showing mixed signals about Ferrari's true pace and Hamilton's adaptation to the SF25, the big question remains: can the most successful driver of the modern era challenge for that record-breaking 8th title with the prancing horse? Or is McLaren's strong preseason form about to rain on Ferrari's parade from the very first race?
We are going to come into what happened at testing, but we're already hearing that he doesn't feel like it's going to take him half a season to get up to speed. He is right there right now. He trusts the braking on this Ferrari, and we know when Hamilton trusts his brakes and can attack a corner as he wants, and perhaps he hasn't been able to do in that Mercedes for the last couple of years, he's at his most dangerous.
Yeah, I think, Tess, he's already sounds more confident. Everything we see of him see him in red, walking in the paddock, he's loving it. But when we see testing with him, he was really on it. He had a few, not spins, but a few off curbs, let's say, through the test. And then by the last day, he was really, really on it, really confident in that car. I think he truly, truly believes that he's going to win in this car. And that's going to be very powerful, Lewis, when we get to race 1.
There is no question that Hamilton's move has generated unprecedented excitement around Formula One. The sport's most decorated active driver joining its most iconic team creates a marriage made in motorsport heaven, and the Melbourne race organizers couldn't be happier about hosting this historic debut. Ticket sales have reportedly skyrocketed, and the atmosphere at Albert Park is expected to be electric, with Ferrari fans welcoming their new star and Hamilton's loyal supporters following him to his new team. The journey to this point has been nothing short of spectacular. When Sky Sports first broke the news last February, the F1 world could hardly believe it. Hamilton, who had spent 12 seasons at Mercedes, was making the switch to Ferrari in a move that many thought would never happen. The timing seemed perfect. Ferrari needed a blockbuster signing after parting ways with Carlos Sainz, while Hamilton was clearly frustrated with Mercedes' inability to provide him with a championship contending car since 2021. His final season at Mercedes was a mixed bag of emotions. While Hamilton managed a sensational win at his home British Grand Prix, he was consistently outqualified by teammate George Russell, highlighting the struggles he was having with the W15. The 7-time champion made no secret of his eagerness to join Ferrari in the latter stages of 2024, with his enthusiasm growing more visible with each passing race. The preparations for his Ferrari debut have been intense and meticulous. Ferrari left no stone unturned in helping Hamilton adapt to his new surroundings. His journey began on January 20th with his first official day at Maranello, where he was welcomed by Ferrari chairman John Elkann, CEO Benedetto Vigna, and team principal Fred Vasseur. The images of Hamilton dressed in Ferrari red immediately went viral, sending social media into a frenzy. Hamilton's testing program has been equally impressive. Despite foggy conditions at Ferrari's Fiorano test track, thousands of passionate tifosi showed up to catch a glimpse of their new hero. The 7-time champion acknowledged their support by approaching the edge of the circuit to wave at the fans, a gesture that instantly endeared him to the Ferrari faithful. However, not everything went smoothly during testing. Reports emerged of Hamilton crashing the 2023 Ferrari during a private test in Barcelona, though no footage or images of the incident ever surfaced. The real test came during the official preseason testing in Bahrain. Hamilton seemed comfortable and positive during the first 2 days, but a technical issue on the final afternoon prevented him from completing a full race simulation. This setback has left some question marks hanging over Ferrari's readiness for the season opener. When asked about the SF25's performance, Hamilton has remained cautiously optimistic. "I think it's a bit early to say, but I'm really enjoying the car. We are slowly bonding, I think," Hamilton said after his second day of testing in Bahrain. His comments suggest a positive initial impression, but they also hint at a process of adaptation that is still ongoing. The 7-time champion has also acknowledged the strong performance of McLaren during testing, particularly Lando Norris' impressive race simulation that caught the attention of the entire paddock. "McLaren did a great run yesterday, and I think also Max did a decent one today, given the temperatures," Hamilton observed. "It's hard to know what fuel loads everyone is running, as we're all doing our own different programs, so you have to take everything with a pinch of salt." Despite the uncertainty surrounding Ferrari's true pace, team principal Fred Vasseur remains confident. The Frenchman suggested that the cold conditions in Bahrain testing might not have suited the SF25, hinting that the warmer temperatures expected in Melbourne will probably be a whole different story. This viewpoint is echoed by Sky Sports F1's Ted Kravitz, who believes there's no reason to panic even if Ferrari doesn't hit the ground running in Australia. "There are some very positive signs that Hamilton is enjoying the way the Ferrari drives more than the Mercedes," Kravitz explained. Crucially, he has identified that the designers and the team behind him are up to championship quality, and he recognizes that he has everything he needs in the team to develop the car and outdevelop his rivals to try and win this year's championship. One of the most striking aspects of Hamilton's Ferrari move has been his rejuvenated demeanor. Sky Sports F1's Martin Brundle noted, "I've never seen him smile so much. We're seeing that just observing him and reading his words. He seems really energized and invigorated by this new opportunity." This renewed enthusiasm could be a crucial factor in Hamilton's quest for that elusive 8th World Championship. The 2025 season presents a unique opportunity for Hamilton and Ferrari. As F1 enters the final year of its current regulation cycle, teams are putting everything into their cars before the major overhaul in 2026. Hamilton's multi-year deal with Ferrari suggests that both parties are looking beyond just this season, but there's no doubt that they would love to start their partnership with immediate success. Hamilton's preparation for this new chapter has been meticulous. He has rebuilt his support team, hiring longtime friend Mark Hines as his race director and bringing back performance coach Angela Cullen, who was by his side during his most successful years at Mercedes. These moves indicate that Hamilton is leaving nothing to chance in his pursuit of further glory with Ferrari. As we head into the Australian Grand Prix this weekend, all eyes will be on the number 44 Ferrari as it takes to the track for the first time in an official session. The pressure will be immense, but pressure is something Hamilton has thrived under throughout his illustrious career. Whether he can deliver the fairy tale start that Ferrari fans are dreaming of remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: this new chapter in Formula One history promises to be absolutely fascinating. With all this in mind, what do you think about Hamilton's chances at Ferrari? Can he clinch that record-breaking 8th world title with the prancing horse? Or will McLaren's impressive preseason form translate into early dominance? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to hit that subscribe button for all the latest updates throughout what promises to be an unforgettable 2025 Formula One season.